So in a few videos recently, watching things like culture shocks in Sweden, one thing I've seen mentioned quite a lot is the product Snus. Now, I didn't really know too much about it. People have told me a little bit about it in the comments, and I want to learn more about that today, learn more about its popularity in Sweden. And this is called Why No One Smokes in Sweden. This was recommended by one of my viewers, so going to check this out. Tell me if you use Snus. Tell me why it's so popular in Sweden. I think also other Scandinavian countries as well, I believe. Let's watch this and we can learn.
This is Morton. He's 20 years old and has just picked up a few fresh packs of snus at a shop in central Stockholm on his lunch break.
I have been snoozing for a long while now, and I just think it's relaxing.
Snus is a tobacco product that comes in small pouches. It's tucked under the lip to get a nicotine buzz. And depending on who you ask, snus is the reason why Sweden has just about quit smoking.
I guess we'll maybe find out in this video, but is it better than smoking? Is it better for your health? Again, like seeing young people, I don't know, when I was growing up and if I'd ever heard of it, I thought it was more like something that older people do. So I guess maybe in Sweden it's different and the younger generation do it as well. I think it is growing in popularity, as I've mentioned on previous videos, in the UK and the USA amongst the younger generation. I think the brand is called Zyn or something like that. I've seen a big push for that product. But yeah, let's check this one out anyway, we can learn.
Only 5.6% of Swedes smoked in 2022. That's the lowest percentage in Europe and within touching distance of the 5% target where a country can declare itself smoke-free. Swedish
brilliant.
smoking rates
Awesome.
have fallen by over half in the past 15 years. Today, only 5% of men and about 6% of women smoke. But about 15% of the population uses snus, mostly men, but women are a fast-growing market. Women tend to use nicotine pouches, a relatively new product that appeared less than a decade ago. Think of them like snus, but with no tobacco.
So that's what that is. So don't have any tobacco, is nicotine product. Tell me what you think about these. Tell me again also, what do you think about the branding and all these of these? It looks very cool. It looks like a cool product. Obviously that's a conscious decision by these manufacturers to make it look very inviting, get people to take it and buy it, obviously so they can make money, make profit. Do you think that's a good thing?
No tobacco.
Got different flavors there as
They're
well.
made of plant fibers combined with nicotine.
I'm at Nicoteket. This is a nicotine store. In a store like this, you can find a veritable plethora of nicotine products. Vapes, nicotine pouches, and traditional snus. The one thing you won't find here are cigarettes.
Snus has been part of the Swedish popular culture for more than 200 years. Now, it's making a comeback. Snus fans say Sweden's centuries-long experiment provides the roadmap for the rest of the world to finally quit using cigarettes.
Where did that growth come from as well? Like, how did it become like more fashionable or like better to actually use that?
But policymakers and health advocates are divided over its use. In the EU, there are hints legislators could move to ban tobacco-free nicotine pouches. That would represent a severe economic threat to nicotine pouch makers. Products like vapes and snus were once seen as competitors to big tobacco's core business. But these days, they're embracing them as so-called reduced-risk products. Last year, global tobacco giant Philip Morris International bought Swedish Match, which owns several domestic snus and nicotine pouch brands.
Yeah, see, when that's the problem when you see these big manufacturers, these big companies buy these products. I feel like there's like these, like, it's not a good thing. They obviously want to make money. They want to sell as much of these as possible. Obviously, ideally, like, everybody would just not take any tobacco or any sort of nicotine product or anything like that. I know that's impossible because it's like a lot of people are addicted and have that addiction, but yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
It's time to work toward the common goal of delivering effective policies that make cigarettes a historical artifact, a museum piece collecting dust behind glass cases.
Yeah, when you hear someone from Philip Morris say that. I can't trust it, honestly. I know that it's like all about profit for them as well, so they're never going to want to lose out. And these things are, it's not as if these things are like good for people. There's always going to be some
The
negative
global
effect, I
market
think.
for nicotine pouch makers is projected to soar from about $2 billion in 2022 to as much as $17.6 billion by
Okay, man, I'll buy some shares in
2029.
Philip Morris then.
Alternative nicotine products represent an existential lifeline to big tobacco, offering a gradual sales shift from cigarettes to what they say are less harmful products. Despite growing snus use, Sweden boasts the lowest tobacco-related cancer rates for European men. And in 2019, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration declared 8 varieties of Swedish match snus less risky than cigarettes.
That is good.
Regulators
That's
said
perfect.
use of such smokeless tobacco products poses lower risks of cancer. Still, nicotine
Good.
is highly addictive. It can elevate blood pressure, contribute to cardiovascular diseases, and aggravate heart issues and other health problems.
Of course, I'm mostly worried about that we're now seeing a whole new generation of nicotine addicts.
I thought it looked good, and I wanted to try. I just kept going and going and going. And it's hard to stop. I'm kind of stuck.
They bought into the tobacco industry story about snus as a smoke cessation product.
Kogström instead attributes Sweden's low smoking rates to restrictions put in place in the 1990s.
Sweden was one of the first countries to introduce smoke-free workplaces and introduced age limit on buying cigarettes and tobacco products. And these are measures that have been proven effective in reducing smoking in Sweden.
With a flurry of new nicotine products entering the market, it is key for governments to get a handle on best practices and policies.
We're not there yet, and we see inequalities in terms of smoking rates depending on your level of income and education, so we still have a lot more to do before becoming a smoke-free country.
Michael Bloomberg, the founder and majority owner of Bloomberg, has been a long-time champion of tobacco control efforts. Okay, interesting message. Yeah, interesting to learn more about it. Yeah, really, it's like, again, I'm not really in the loop with that scene or stuff. I live in Malaysia. It's not so common here. People still smoke cigarettes. So when I go to the shop, I don't see these products in the shop yet. I only hear about what is happening in the UK, the US, and I see things like that. But when you see them branded in the bright, vibrant colours, the cool fonts and stuff, it looks very cool. You can see that they're obviously targeting the younger generation with how they're packaged and so on. I still don't think that's a good thing. As I said, it's still addictive. Whether it's the non-tobacco version but it's still got nicotine, it's addictive. Still has health issues and risks that come from it. So I would not support it. I'm not somebody who smokes or anything like that. So I wouldn't support, but I understand that people are addicted. People have their own choice to do what they like. But it's good that no one smokes cigarettes. Obviously, they're the worst, and it's good to see like so little people smoke cigarettes in Sweden. But yeah, it's just interesting that snus has always been there 200 years in Sweden. It's very ingrained in the culture of Swedish people, I guess, or in the country of Sweden. Tell me what you think about it. Tell me if you use snus. Tell me if you use any of these more modern things, like the non-tobacco versions and how it is. What do you think about it? Thanks.